Hi, my name is Lolita Nikolova and today we will talk about archaeology. Archaeology is one of the most interesting, most attractive and most exotic sciences and professions in early 21st century. There is one peculiarity. Archaeology is a historical science. That means it is one kind of science in the 19th century, another kind of science in 20th century, and a third kind of science in early 21st century. Archaeology of the 21st century is a science about the preservation of the archaeological past. Archaeology includes different methods of preservation, and in most of the cases, archaeologists collaborate with the government programs and institutions. On the second place, in early 21st century, the main topic of archaeology is contemporary archaeology. It is a new discipline which is even not developed in many countries in the world. Contemporary archaeology is a science about documentation of everything around us which sounds archaeology. That means everything which is a past or which has connections with past, never mind that it could be functional in our everydayness and in our context. Contemporary archaeology is a new aspect of archaeology since, in contrast of the traditional archaeology, contemporary archaeology creates values. Since many of the objects, if they are not documented, many of the sites, if they are not documented, they just will disappear and the human civilization may even don't have memory about them. While through documentation, contemporary archaeologists not only keep the memory of 20th and 19th century, but at the same time they create value, and this value becomes like the value in art. At this level, archaeology and art actually overlap, and this explains the fact that contemporary archaeology in early 21st century is the most important and most valuable field of archaeology. On the third place, we need to mention traditional archaeology. However, in contrast to the 19th century and 20th century, in early 21st century, value has only these diggings of archaeologists which have rescue character. In past, it was used the term of science to reveal values under the earth, but in most of the cases, revealing of the value of specific finds actually was connected with destruction of the past and it was not well documented. For this reason, in early 21st century, the most important part of the traditional archaeology is not excavating for science, but excavating because of a rescue character of the excavations. I would place on the first place theory, because in archaeology there are many theoretical works from 20th century, and in most of the cases they could be used as a base for development of the different new aspects of archaeological science. However, there is a kind of alphabet of archaeology that includes stratigraphy, that includes classification, typology. It could be possible many new, especially young scientists, to surprise the archaeologists with new theories, but it depends whether these new theories really represent one integration with archaeology or their deductive reasoning of theories which actually touch very on the surface archaeology. Uh, this is one of the reasons to believe that theory today in archaeology is not as important as documentation of the contemporary past and as the archaeology of the contemporary past. And it's coming on the fifth place in this hierarchy of the values in archaeology of 21st century, methodology. Archaeology is empirical science and also it includes interpretations. In many cases, ideology was the one that troubled archaeology in 20th century, or not well-developed methodology and methods of excavations and interpretations. In the early 21st century, to be scientists in archaeology mean, first of all, to have a very, very well documented empirical base and the interpretation to relate to hypotheses and to theories which could be verified. That means to keep the scientific meaning of archaeology. Last but not least, in the 21st century, very important are non-for-profit organizations for archaeologists. Their meaning and their role in archaeology has been changing since in 20th century it was possible in this period of the Cold War and totalitarian regimes in some parts of the world, specific archaeologists to occupy the non-for-profit organizations and in some cases to trouble and to corrupt archaeologists through these organizations. Slowly, in the early 21st century, non-for-profit organizations have been becoming organizations of sharing of real science, of sharing of real value, and a place where it is impossible anymore to practice corruption or to trouble archaeologists just because of specific behavior. Today, to study archaeology, one person needs also to understand that archaeology is first of all culture, and culture. Studying archaeology means crossing with many different disciplines and with many different aspects of scientific life, including natural sciences and social sciences. But first of all, studying archaeology means to like past, past as part of our present and as part of our future. To research today as an archaeology means to have very, very strong moral values, to be a trustful scholar, to be extremely well educated and intellectual type. Good luck with archaeologists to all of you.